Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the very first edition of the newscast on My Media Prime Television for the year 2023. Bilingual News is coming to you live from the country's economic capital city, Douala. And for presentation, my name is Macdella Eyong, and with me in the studio is Liliane Foguen for the French newscast. Good evening, Liliane.
Bonsoir, Macdella Eyong. 1er janvier 2023, mesdames, messieurs, bonsoir. Merci d'honorer le rendez-vous de l'information bilingue sur My Media Prime Télévision, première de l'année 2023. Nous débutons bien évidemment en anglais avec vous, Macdella Eyong.
Supporters of President Paul Biya watched his State of the Nation's address with enthusiasm and hope for a brighter future as the world battles chronic challenges in all sectors. Bo Elvis sampled opinions of an expert and Cameroonians shortly after the speech and compiled the following report. Take a listen.
President Paul Biya's end-of-year address to the nation has been appreciated by his supporters who applaud his mastery of happenings within and out of the nation.
He spoke on both medical, educational, health, economic, and cultural aspects of the whole cycle of development in the Republic. From great achievements, we enter great ambitions. And this government of urgency plan for 2023, it's actually a government that we are offering what we can produce, like the low-cost housing in Douala, the economic capital, the metropolitan station that is about to be constructed, and other urgency projects are what is already underway. And even the gas plan is what is already underway. We just inaugurated the Kribi-Lolabe Highway and many other structural projects that are governing the Republic. He said, we have done our best, but the best is still to come in this 2023.
The State of the Nation address highlights priority projects of the Republic and sends a warning signal to looters of state property.
In the first generation project, the President spoke about Pamenda Babaju Highway, spoke about the Southwest Road, spoke about the Mamfe linking Nigeria, our neighboring country. Then he spoke about the N'Djamena Extreme North Road, not leaving behind the Kribi-Lolabe and the gas and power dams projects which are underway. Then the President also reiterated about some fast urgency projects like the ongoing construction of the Naktiga Dam and the Douala Highway extensions. So those were the urgency projects that the President spoke about. The President never failed to call upon us, the Cameroonian citizens, to be aware of corruption, which is linking us down, and he called on all the citizens to be watchful and self-diligent.
Youth and women, center of interest in the President's vision, watched his speech with keen attention.
Like a young man growing in the nation, many of us have always been thinking the President do not know where he touches us, but I was very impressed to see that the President masters nearly every difficulty we encounter in the country.
Construction of the road, the seaports, the hospitals is really, really in touch, because when we stand together, we grow more.
The just ended year has not been an easy one for the private sector who want the head of state to look into their situation.
Business is not moving well with us because of too much taxation. Taxation is too much. That is what I was waiting to hear about our head of state, whether he can bring down the high taxes that we are passing through.
With so many national and global challenges, Cameroonians look up to 2023 with enthusiasm as they put confidence on their leaders to deliver during such difficult times.
The head of state, President Paul Biya, in his usual traditional end-of-year speech to Cameroonians, has revealed several projects to be implemented in the country this new year, 2023. Amongst these were special interest in the development of the mining sector as key projects in the country this year. Nube Naivona closely followed the president's speech and gives us details in the following report.
Camerounaises, Camerounais, mes chers compatriotes, Cameroon's President, His Excellency Paul Biya, during his end-of-year message to Cameroonians on Saturday, December 31, 2022, announced the implementation of 3 major projects aimed at boosting the country's socio-economic development come 2023.
In order to diversify state revenue sources, I authorized the implementation of 3 large-scale projects aimed at developing our mining potential, structuring our economy, and creating jobs.
Amongst these 3 large-scale projects, the President highlighted the development of the mining sector, which will provide additional financial resources to be used to finance our investments. He notes that the year 2023 will be marked by the commencement of the exploitation of the Kribi-Lobe iron ore, which will include the construction of an iron enrichment plant, a 20-kilometer-long pipeline, and a 60-megawatt power plant. The President, in his end-of-year speech, also takes interest in the Mbalam-Nabiba iron deposit and notes that a 540-kilometer-long railway line for a mineral terminal will be constructed between Nabiba in Congo and the Kribi port. The third project, President Paul Biya says, concerns the exploitation of the Bipindi Grand Zambi iron ore with the development of an iron and steel complex for the local processing of iron and the construction of a pipeline and several basic facilities for the benefit of the population. The head of state also revealed that several steps have already been taken in the implementation and realization of these major projects. It should be noted his message also takes interest in health, agriculture, infrastructure, and security issues, just to name a few. All these, the President says, is geared towards the progress of the country.
Bonne et heureuse année 2023. À toutes et à tous. Vive.
Celebrating the start of every year is done differently by individuals and community. In Buea, our reporter Emmanuel starts the year 2023 with a small community in Great Support who have as ritual every year to camp around a fire. Let's hear from her.
This neighborhood is well prepared to start the year 2023. It turns out each year they come together as a community, make a fire at the center of this earth road, chat, drink, dance, and play games.
Success for us to say a wonderful new year. So the only way us to make a symbol is to bring out the fire, to signify all of us that all of us are still alive and we are happy to see the new year. So that's why the bright new year that is coming to our own direction.
The tires are ready at the side, while a timekeeper keeps announcing the seconds and minutes to midnight. When it finally clocks midnight, tires are added to the burning flames as they click their bottles together, wishing themselves a happy new year. According to this small community in Great Support called Gabonese Street, the fire symbolizes peace, love, and togetherness.
This one is different because we've been through a lot in the past years for the coronavirus and the difficulties that have been going on in the past years. So this one is different because we feel a little change. People who left the community have returned and there's love and peace has returned in our community. So we expect a change come 2023.
Crossing over into a new year has always been different with different individuals. Some would go to church, others would go to beer parlors, while some would decide to come just like this one. All these different celebrations have one aim: to be together. It was indeed a long crossover night in Buea, chief town of the Southeast region. Happy New Year 2023.
C'est au domicile du maire de la ville de Bertois que les agents de la communauté urbaine de cette ville ont suivi avec une oreille attentive le discours du chef de l'État, Paul Biya, le 31 décembre 2022. Revivons ces moments ensemble dans ce papier signé Jean-Didier Donmuy.
C'est ici, au domicile du maire de la ville de Bertois, que certains personnels de la communauté urbaine ont vécu ce 31 décembre 2022 le discours de fin d'année du président Paul Biya. Très concentré et attentif, le maire de la ville de Bertois, Jean-Marie Dimbele-Sodeya et son personnel applaudissent les grandes réalisations effectuées au cours de cette année qui s'achève. Et les perspectives des grands projets s'annoncent radieuses, notamment le bitumage de la route Manjou-Akokambaturi, qui verra bientôt son extension jusqu'à la ville Kakoye de Yokadouma, le début de l'exploitation du fer de Mbalam, ainsi que la réfection et la mise en fonction de l'aéroport de Bertois.
Il nous a exhorté, n'est-ce pas, d'accompagner dans le travail qu'il mène pour le Cameroun. Il nous a surtout interpellé, nous, les CTD, et surtout la communauté urbaine, de l'accompagner, n'est-ce pas, dans cette bataille qu'il mène depuis longtemps pour défendre ce pays. L'accompagner pour nous enlever le problème du chômage. Donc nous avons compris et nous allons le faire.
La mise en place progressive de la décentralisation et les progrès réalisés avec le CDD qui a profondément modifié le visage de la ville de Bertois.
Nous sommes surtout dans la région de l'Est. Donc les retombées seront énormes pour non seulement notre région, mais pour le Cameroun tout entier. Également, il nous a fait savoir qu'il y aura des routes qui seront bitumées l'année prochaine, telles que la route de Bertois-Yokadouma, qui sera bitumée, ainsi que d'autres routes. Je crois que c'est des éléments très importants qui contribuent, n'est-ce pas, au développement de notre région. Vous savez, on dit que lorsque la route part, le développement suit.
Avec la création des bases du BI, les frontières sont désormais sécurisées dans la région de l'Est, frontalière avec la République centrafricaine, où on observait des attaques répétées et des prises d'otages. En somme, malgré les difficultés et l'inflation des prix sur le marché en 2023, les populations de la région de l'Est sont confiantes en cette nouvelle année qui s'annonce.
La place de fête de la ville de Konsamba dans le département du Mongo, région du littoral, a servi de cadre ce 1er janvier 2023 à la cérémonie de remise des épaulettes au corps ami. Une cérémonie inscrite au tableau d'avancement des médailles du 20 mai prochain. Reportage. Ils sont 2 officiers supérieurs, 7 officiers subalternes, 24 sous-officiers, 20 caporaux-chefs, soldats de première classe et soldats de deuxième classe qui ont été récompensés ce 1er janvier 2023 à Konsamba. Présidé par le préfet du département du Mungo, Yves Bertrand Noël, c'était l'occasion pour les heureux récipiendaires de témoigner leur joie et gratitude à l'endroit du chef de l'État, son Excellence Paul Biya. Celui-ci, dans son allocution à la nation, n'a pas manqué de féliciter les forces de maintien de l'ordre dans le combat qu'ils mènent pour la préservation de la paix.
Je dis merci à Dieu Tout-Puissant d'avoir permis à ce que je puisse être décoré ce jour au bras de Saint-Chef. Je dis merci à la hiérarchie, au président de la République, chef des forces armées camerounaises, au compost et au conseiller technique à la présidence, qui ne nous a pas toujours laissé, et à tous mes camarades qui sont au fond, qui n'ont pas eu l'occasion de voter.
Nous avons un sentiment de satisfaction envers le dernier de Tout-Puissant, de satisfaction envers la hiérarchie, de satisfaction envers ma famille et la population de Enow également pour le conseil. Les conseils que je pourrais donner à mes jeunes petits frères, c'est l'ardeur au travail.
C'est la grande parade militaire de circonstance qui a clôturé cette célébration, laissant place aux réjouissances populaires dans les différentes familles.
We now take you to the southwest region as the world gathered to celebrate another crossover into the new year. The Christians of Full Gospel Mission My Foguen Assembly celebrated in jubilations, shouts of joy, thanking God for keeping them alive and trusting Him for a better 2023. Bokenko Wardi attended their service and now reports.
Songs of worship, praises, thanksgiving, and jubilation filled the atmosphere. The congregation of Full Gospel Mission, Mile 4, District 2, came to round up the year with hearts high in gratitude and filled with extreme gratefulness.
For taking us through the year 2022 that is today, the 1st of January 2023. In fact, it's what we celebrate. Why? Because many people died. We heard of accident, and God took us down and brought us back safely.
And I'm so grateful to God. God gave me a husband, God gave me children, God gave me a house, God gave me a car, and He's still adding cars.
I'm so grateful. He's faithful. Keeping me alive is a testimony.
But we thank God for seeing us through. He's made us see this 2023. Indeed, say glory be unto God.
The significant Our Father prayer was the take-home message for the new year, urging Christians to be persistent in the place of prayer so as to experience God's will, supernatural power, and blessings in every situation this 2023.
Matthew chapter 6, from verse 9 to 12, we spoke of, he said, Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. The Message Bible makes it clearer that we say, Our Father who is in heaven, we worship you, and not only that, he said, let what is above be what is here on earth. And the life of heaven is what we need here on earth. That's the supernatural manifesting in this world. Holiness, and righteousness, the fear of God, and in good health, and in the blessings of God, because God's will is that we should be blessed in all that we do.
The crossover night was garnished with songs of praise, worship, sketches, choir ministrations, spacious songs, and much more. Though the year 2022 was very difficult in many ways than one, especially for those in the two speaking English regions of the country, we join our faith with those of the Christians of this congregation, praying that the new year 2023 be filled with blessings, supernatural encounters, miracles, good health, and most especially peace in the hearts and minds of each and every Cameroonian. Happy New Year in shouts of joy.
And now back into the country's economic capital city, Douala. Thousands of Christians as well as non-Christians on the last day of 2022 converged at the Presbyterian Church in Tebong to transit into the new year 2023. A celebration often termed the crossover night has been perfectly explained to us by our reporter Dolly Ngonde in the following report.
This is what happens when the clock takes 12 midnight on the dot on every 31st day of December in most Christian churches around the world. The old-time occasion, which gains biblical standing from the Passover night, is a replica of what God commanded the Israelites to do in Exodus chapter 12, as Christians today call it the crossover night. Prelude to this moment, Reverend Arthur Frederick, parish pastor of Presbyterian Church in Tebong, had commented on this year's crossover night.
Today being the 31st means that the whole year is almost winding over, and we are crossing over to a new year, 2023. And so the significance is such that we come together as a people, a community of faith, to thank God, to thank Him sustenance, for protections, for direction, and for keeping us alive, and then giving us the privilege of seeing another new year in our lives.
Given that it is an opportunity to receive more Christians into the church, the pastor's concluding remarks have not been short of encouragement as the Christians step into this new year.
The message especially is they should be ready for all the circumstances that will come their way, because God is in control, and there should be no fear. They should be certain that since God did not abandon us in the past, He will not do so this time. He will always stand by us at all times, and He will listen to our cries. The only thing we need to do is to be more devoted. Give our time to serving Him. Give our time to do His work. Give our time to worship Him, because that's all that we need to do. And that is how we show the world that we belong to a community of faith like this.
The night, which has been ritualistic with the liturgy of the church, has also seen the display of these wonderful skits performed by the youths of the congregation, with the candle lighting amongst other activities.
Members of the National Advertising Council have adopted repressive measures for defaulters in the sector. The move was taken during their second ordinary and the first extraordinary session recently in Yaoundé, a ceremony presided at by the Minister of Communication, Emmanuel Rene Sadi. Island Sama with details.
Members of the National Advertising Council, while meeting during their second ordinary and first extraordinary session recently, resolved to sanction defaulters in the sector. In his opening remark, the President of the National Advertising Council, Communication Minister Rene Manuel Sadi, urged members to continue cleaning up the sector and promote professional practices. Minister Rene Sadi laid emphasis on the complete shift from a pedagogic to a repressive phase, which involves the strict implementation of sanctions as provided by the law to offenders and defaulters. He added that, in synergy with other partners, a hunt will be launched against unlicensed companies that continue to carry out illegal advertising activities. The Director of the Department of Private Media and Advertising in the Ministry of Communication, Ngakak Kizito, while commenting on the issue of some harmful products, said the Council is currently working in collaboration with the Ministry of Public Health on the issue of skin bleaching products, since they cannot regulate the sector without consulting the Ministry of Public Health to ascertain if the product that is advertised has been authorized. Nonetheless, regarding files submitted for approval, the twin session scrutinized over 183 files, including 70 for advertising consultants and 113 for advertising firms. It is worth mentioning that, contrary to other years, an ordinary session was held in October in which discussions centered on current affairs in relation to taxation on advertising activity, regulation, and ethics in the creation and dissemination of advertising messages.
En économie, une opération spéciale vente de la viande de bœuf est en cours actuellement dans la ville de Ngaoundéré, région de l'Adamawa, une initiative organisée par la Société de développement et d'exploitation des productions animales, en abrégé SODEPA. Belmont Zewa nous donne plus de détails dans ce reportage.
Les fêtes de fin d'année sont là. Le prix de la viande de bœuf reste inchangé et garde sa stabilité sur les étals, points de vente et les marchés de la ville de Ngaoundéré. Les boucheries proposent le kilogramme de viande avec os à 2200 francs CFA et sans os à 2800 francs CFA. Une situation qui incommode les ménagères dont la bourse est faible. Mais avec l'initiative du directeur général de la SODEPA, entendez Société de développement et d'exploitation des productions animales, leur pouvoir d'achat va s'améliorer considérablement.
Le DG a jugé donc nécessaire de mettre à la disposition de ce consommateur local une viande de qualité. Donc c'est la raison pour laquelle nous avons donc choisi ce site où nous avons mis donc à la disposition de ces consommateurs cette viande. C'est une viande qui est non seulement traitée en respectant les normes hygiéniques en matière de traitement de viande, également c'est une viande maturée. Quand on dit maturée, c'est une viande qu'on laisse réchauffer dans une chambre froide pendant 24 à 48 heures, n'est-ce pas, pour que la viande exprime toutes ses caractéristiques organoleptiques, à savoir la jutosité, la succulence et également la tendreté.
Il s'agit d'un point de vente aménagé au centre commercial de Ngaoundéré, au lieu dit bar laitier, où le kilogramme de viande de qualité avec os est vendu à 1800 francs CFA et sans os à 2300 francs CFA.
Par rapport à ailleurs. Les viandes, j'apprécie ce genre d'attitude et de ce départ, que ça aille de l'avant. Parce que la qualité de viande que moi-même j'ai eu à acheter ici est différente de ce que nous en trouvons sur le marché. Étant bien donné que la viande est d'abord moins chère, c'est de bonne qualité, bien traitée, bien propre.
Selon le responsable de l'abattoir industriel de Ngaoundéré, des espaces comme celui-ci vont bientôt se multiplier dans la ville de Ngaoundéré.
Parlons culture à présent, l'édition 2022 du Bantous Day s'est tenue récemment à Malantoin, plus précisément dans le village éponyme de l'événement. Au centre, plusieurs activités dont le pèlerinage et les rites traditionnels. Flo Kamga, notre correspondance dans la région de l'Ouest Cameroun, nous donne plus de détails dans son reportage.
Bantous Day, un pèlerinage annuel initié par feu Dr Adamou Damjoya, par ailleurs Djimonkop 7, est porté par le syndicat des communes du Noun.
Pour dire merci pour l'année, pour demander à Dieu de nous aider pour l'année prochaine, pour demander pardon, pour nous retrouver entre frères et sœurs qui partageons les mêmes valeurs.
Religieuse inscrite au calendrier du syndicat des communes chaque 21 décembre et Bantous Day sont les activités qui lient intimement les Djimonkop aux populations. Et mon devoir est de vous assurer de la haute conscience que j'en tire. Surtout ayant vécu tout le travail et l'engagement de notre père, le docteur Adamou Damjoya, qui depuis des années, visionnaire qu'il était, cherchait à nous faire comprendre le 21 décembre comme Bantous Day.
Bantou est ce village situé dans l'arrondissement de Malantoun, département du Noun, région de l'Ouest Cameroun. Son histoire naît du fait qu'il est le lieu où le roi Gouléré, 9e de la dynastie Bamoun, installa sa fille aînée Djimenket, qui à son tour fit venir son frère Djimonkop, fils aîné du roi. De Djimonkop naquit Djamdouké, la reine-mère et génitrice du roi Ndjoya, 7e de la dynastie Bamoun.
C'est un lieu qui nous inspire parce que les ancêtres qui ont vécu ici étaient des modèles. Et quand on voit où les ancêtres étaient, il faut respecter cela. Donc quand nous venons en Bantou aujourd'hui, il est question d'histoire, il est question aussi et surtout de protection de l'environnement. Il est question de respect. Il est question de respect des biens d'intérêt collectif.
Veillée autour du feu, meublé par les contes et rites traditionnels, visite de la chute Bantou tôt le matin, en plus de l'allégeance sur le sépulcre de ceux qui se sont retournés sous l'égide du chef de famille font partie, entre autres, des articulations de ce pèlerinage. Prière, allocution et purification autour du Mfa, planté la nuit précédente, ont ponctué cette édition 2022 du Bantous Day, édition marquée par le retour du Mfa qui sera planté à Dinka, signe de retour de la grande famille à Fumban pour assister Reine-Mère Djamdouké dans la régence qui représente la patience du temps de la maturité.
The Bambili Cultural and Development Association have voted the sum of 81,700,000 francs as budget for the association this year 2023 during an enlarged General Assembly at the Funds Palace in Bambili. Charles Kebwa reports from Bamenda.
In an enlarged General Assembly meeting at the Funds Palace, Bambili, December 30, 2022, the Bambili Cultural and Development Association, Bekuda, voted the sum of 81,700,000 FCFA as the budget for the association. Bambili being the host to the University of Bamenda with a huge population year in, year out, and this population, made up of inhabitants of Bambili and visitors, need social amenities like street lights, water, just to name a few. It's for this reason that 90% of the Bambili Cultural and Development Association budget will be used for the Bambili Water Project. The chairman of the Bambili Traditional Council decried the rate at which land is being sold in Bambili, warned if that continues, Bambili children in future will have no land to construct. Fon Afuntri of Bambili used the general come together to call for peace.
Yeah, the hunting dog of the fund. Those projects are always earmarked from the palace here. And I send them, how do we realize these projects? To go now hunt for all the sons and daughters of Bambili to raise funds and come, and I'm the general supervisor and seeing what is currently going with the socio-political, which is almost going down, and the stability of peace in Bambili. I am very, very optimistic that my sons and daughters will be able to come out with heavy contributions for us to realize the projects.
To the mayor of Tuba Council, with the growing student population, the council needs to support all initiatives to bring water to the people.
We are standing to say that I'll keep on opening water when we already have sources and need maintenance now. Because enough water, even the water supply without maintenance, will be a wastage. So our plan, the plan of Tuba Council this time is to embark on follow up on maintenance and make sure the sources that are supplying to keep up.
Bekuda National President Eric Andangfum said, apart from water, the Bambili Cultural and Development Association will also provide aid to health facilities in Bambili.
And we just adopted our budget for 2023, which stands at 81,700,000. We are going to put accent on getting water available to the population, which is the principal problem we have. We also see things we do like lifting the face of the palace and giving support to health institutions inside Bambili.
The day was graced with animation.
Terminons avec cette note d'information en sport. C'est officiel. La Fédération camerounaise de football confirme la radiation de 21 joueurs de l'équipe nationale U17 après avoir échoué au test IRM. Cette action est la résultante des instructions rigoureuses données par le président de cette instance fêtière, Samuel Etofis, agissant sous mandat du commerce afin de mettre un terme au tripatouillage sur les états civils qui ont par le passé terni l'image de la FECAFOOT. Nous y reviendrons.
Cristiano Ronaldo has joined Saudi Arabian club Al Nassr on a 3-year deal and becomes the highest paid footballer in the history of soccer. His move to Saudi Arabia comes after mutually terminating his contract with former club Manchester United. Get details in the following report. 5 times Ballon d'Or winner Cristiano Ronaldo has completed a move to Saudi Arabian club Al Nassr on a deal worth about $75 million plus until 2025. The 37-year-old Portugal captain switched to Saudi Arabia as a free agent after leaving English Premier League side Manchester United on a mutual agreement where he spent over 1.5 seasons with just 7 months left. Ronaldo will earn the highest football salary in history as he will now ply his trade in a new football league and in a different country. He joins Al Nassr, who are 9-time Saudi Pro League champions, and so he equally joins Cameroon's Vincent Aboubakar at the attack compartment of the club, who currently sit first on the league's table. thanks to Vincent Abubakar, who scored the lone goal in a 1-0 win over Al Khalid yesterday to hand his team arguably the best New Year gift of 3 points, as well as took them to the first position on the table. It should be noted that Ronaldo turned down a deal to join the most decorated Asian and Saudi Arabian club Al Hilal this summer after claims he was comfortable at Manchester United. Arguably one of the greatest of all times, Ronaldo scored 145 goals in 346 appearances for Manchester United after he left Real Madrid 11 years ago and Juventus in 2021 to secure a move to Manchester United. The striker recently returned from the 2022 FIFA World Cup in Qatar, where he guided Portugal to the round of 8 before they were eliminated by North African side Morocco. However, he eventually made his name in the just-ended competition by becoming the first ever player to score at 5 different FIFA World Cups. Cristiano Ronaldo greatly transformed himself from a tricky, skillful winger to one of the world's best players, and so has been decorated with several awards befitting of his personality. That was it for the first edition of the news for the year 2023. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching the news, produced by Christain Tebong, supervised by Editor-in-Chief Faith Tata, presented by me, Macdella, Eyong, and Liliane Foguen. Good evening once again and Happy New Year, Liliane.
Bonsoir Macdella Eyong, mesdames, messieurs, c'est la fin de ce journal. Merci de l'avoir suivi. Il a été réalisé sous la supervision technique de Christain Tebong et Junior Pelama. N'oubliez pas votre rentrée des programmes à partir de lundi avec votre émission matinale Kokro, présentée par Faith Tata. C'était Liliane Foguen depuis Douala. Bonsoir.
Welcome to a new world of TV broadcasting. My Major Prime. News, discovery, culture, sports, entertainment. A BT Media Group channel with slogan